By the blessing of the icons and their emissaries, we found the child.
We brought something else to light.
There's a darkness coming.
In the shadows are old enemies.
And new allies.
What will survive in the dawn?
Of the last Cyclade.
So too many Musaa Kula adverts being played there. Oh no, what will we do with that additional advertising revenue? Hi folks, welcome to Goblin Games. My name's Millie, and we're going to play some Coriolis. Graham was asking, are we going to do all the exciting things in the intro? All those exciting pictures.
I was going to say, a bit like in Fight Club, where they put the subliminal clips in, just put like some really, like a Shabazz t-shirt in there.
Oh, is that what we need next? Shabazz t-shirts and...
Or Kirsch.
Kirsch
wearing a Shabazz t-shirt.
Yeah.
There you go. There's some fan art we need, folks. Kirsch wearing a Shabazz t-shirt, and Adia just stood there holding their head in frustration. Welcome to Goblin Games. We're going to play some Coriolis. Let's get the name right.
The Hoodie What's It Yarded.
Mercy of the Icons, Part 2, The Last Cyclade, Act 2, The Cyclade Dance, Session 1, Aram's Secret. There we go. Session 2, Aram's Secret even.
Ooh.
Where's Aram's Ravine?
Yeah, Aram's Ravine is
Aram's
the place
Secret.
we're
Is where we are, and there's a secret.
Excellent, excellent.
You know, is standard for Coriolis, really, isn't it? Secrets and shenanigans. And...
I mean, I was hoping for like a museum with a gift shop.
Oh, there might be a museum with a gift shop.
That's cool.
Should we just crack? No, we normally say hello to folks.
Okay.
How you doing, Pete?
Good. Yeah. Looking forward to it. Yusuf has now got a new mind power.
Nice.
Can read minds.
Mm-hmm.
That's not mind bullets. You promised us mind bullets.
It's a mind hoover.
They're like emotional mind bullets. He reads all the things you don't want him to,
and I fire them back.
Then he brings it up in public. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can also now make talisman,
Talismo.
and I've already crafted a few on the way here, but I don't know what they are. Yes, and I'm slightly confused by this place and disgusted by the decadence, like the super decadence. It's like even more decadent than anything else. So yeah.
It is talismans, I checked.
Yes. I don't want to steal a load of shit.
You're just gonna steal everything?
I mean, I'd sure they consider it part of the room price, to be honest with you.
Following the overlay, which in no way had anybody in the wrong windows. Graham, how you doing?
I'm fine.
No, I have moved, folks. Real Graham.
We should do that one week. We should swap characters and just act as we think that character would act. I think that would be fun. So how am I doing? Pretty good. Pretty tired, but pretty good. I like Coriolis though, so very happy to go. I am like perhaps the dark past of Silsila is coming out, as I've acquired the point blank feat to reflect the deadly shooting. And also, if someone stabs you with a sword and you live, you should use that sword. So I went with that as well.
Oh, you got the Mercurian blade, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Well,
I've realised I've been calling it Merconian blade, which is something slightly different.
Like a mushroom blade?
No, it's worse than that. Meconium is the baby's first poo thing. It's that weird
Yeah.
tarry turd.
I've been
It's
using
like
the wrong term.
Brownie black tarry
It's the
sword.
green. Yeah.
Made of all the
Should we have a pen?
shed hair from an infant.
Please, can you tell me the real name of the non-poo sword?
It's now the poo sword.
Fine, I'll call it the poo sword.
No,
That's perfectly
no,
fine. Maybe,
absolutely
bowel
not.
perforation.
Absolutely not. This is a serious,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
serious RP
I could just call
actual
it the
blade.
sword if you like. The
Mercurium.
blade.
Mercurium.
Mercurium.
Yes, like it flows
I'm just going to call it the
blade. Silsila can name his...
portentous stone.
Yeah.
Not pompous.
Yeah.
Portentous.
There you go. Look, Ben has popped it in chat.
while you were cleaning up meconium, I studied the blade.
Exactly. I did
Um,
both, as it happens. I just didn't realize at the time.
Have you studied anything else this week, Ben? How you doing?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm Star Trekking at the minute. I'm on a Star Trek vibe,
Hmm.
building the space station, Deep Space 13, the last post.
Ba, ba, ba. No,
Very exciting stuff.
not that kind of.
Fly around the pylons.
Boom, boom,
Look
boom,
impressed.
boom, boom. Yeah,
Do it again.
yeah. One more time.
Mhm.
No, I don't think I'm going to put pylons on it because that's been done.
Ah.
Okay. All right. But cool. So is that over on Start Playing Games, or is that a secret yet?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, no, that's on Start Playing Games, but I'm looking at developing my Star Trek Adventures skills with a view to throwing some Star Trek in maybe next year. One of my D20 oeuvres, perhaps,
Nice.
because we've started thinking about next January, haven't we?
Yes.
No. Yes. Yes, we have. Oh, there we go.
Boom, 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 boom.
You
Pete,
see-
what is best in life?
Hyperb Aurea.
Hyperborea.
I just mispronouncing it as if it was superb.
Everything is mispronounced by Graham this evening because of the blade name. Yeah, we've started thinking about January and beyond. Over on the Discord, I saw the post Nye, who very lovingly collected
Yes.
a wonderful clips
Yep.
video for 2021. They're going to start doing 2022.
Curator of the short clips. It's happening.
Yeah,
And,
so
and I spoke to Leon about quiz questions today.
oh, great God, that quiz.
Oh, it's all getting real.
I think
Yeah,
a
so
couple
go
of years
make
ago-
clips. We need clips. We need lots of clips.
Here we are. Yeah,
So-
use the Knight informed us that you can do this on YouTube as well. If you're watching on YouTube, see something funny happen during the stream, during the show, clip it. That was what Nye told me. I had learned that the other day, today even. But yeah, okay. So everybody's well. How is Shanaz? Let's check in with
Shanaz is pretty cool. She's got the boys off station, which is always relaxing.
Mhm.
Once they're off somewhere doing something dangerous and stupid, it means that the real work can actually begin. Whether it's them that do the real work or her, who knows?
Who knows?
But
all right,
we shall see.
So yeah, we start this week. Yusuf and Silsila were flying down to the planet below that the wonderful spa resort orbits, a planet called Gina, which we were on a moon up above, slightly caustic moon in some domes, but a beautiful, luxurious, opulent spa that is strategically just outside of Coriolis space territory, but close enough to be like, oh, we're rich and we can go there for the afternoon.
A bit like the Cayman
Tax
Islands in real
purposes.
life. Then.
Yeah. We discovered there was a lovely pool for Adia to go swimming in. Kirsch is trying one thing from every single menu. We made friends with a young concierge attendant called Basile, and we got them very drunk. They are now our best mate. And somebody tried to come and get Silsila's blood.
Understandable.
Yes.
so.
Cheeky so and so.
A bunch
Oh,
of
yes.
That's what
ghosts.
I'm sorting out. Thank you for reminding me. I knew I had a thing I had to do.
And I'm coming to verify Silsila's genome or
I think what
DNA.
you should do is secretly cut him and put his blood in the sample, so then he thinks I'm his relative. That'd be like the worst day ever for that guy.
He was earlier in the Cyclade
That's amazing.
announced to be Zenithian. We just found it just at the party. What a surprise! What a surprise!
Sold receipt.
Yeah.
Yeah, for your ticket, your birth for your family on the trip to the third horizon from Earth. So that kind of happened, and then towards the end of our session, Adia pointed out that they had found an incoming message from the planet below, directed to the ship that was encrypted. Yusuf, slightly hungover, but probably quite good at this stuff, hacked it, broke into it, watched the message. It came from the planet below, or at least it was relayed or sent via their messenger server, their postal server. kind of thing. So exact location on the planet wasn't too tied down, but the only real message server on the planet is in a place called Aram's Ravine. It talked about bank account details, and I'm onto something down here, and it was made by no one that the current owners of the ship know, but a white-haired old lady who we think might be Delian, Harvus, and what's her name? Graham?
Kashar?
Kashar's old boss, who went missing a long time ago, almost on the trip that was the Ghazali. He was on there, apparently. We don't know. It was addressed to Nur, who is the young lady we saved at the end of last season. And so Silsila and Yusuf were like, well, let's go find out. They talked about bank accounts, money, weird stuff. Let's go find out. And they went off. They flew away.
Yep.
Heading down to the only location on the planet.
So we've left Kashar and Adia behind. No, we haven't.
Kirsch.
And Adia behind.
Kashar is still on Coriolis.
Mm-hmm.
Probably up to more shenanigans.
Yeah, we'd be in a whole different kind of world of hurt if we had Kashar instead of Kirsch.
I mean, we'd certainly
Fewer
be hacking.
T-shirt related shenanigans.
Oh, like it would have been NFTs, I think, if it was Kashar.
It would have been financial fraud. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
You'd secretly have lots of loans you didn't know about.
Yeah. So yeah, the Yusuf. Did we take it? We took Kirsch with us, didn't we? And their big wrench, or did we leave them with Shanaz?
I think
We took Kirsch with us.
we left Adia swimming.
And
Left Adia swimming, yeah.
Okay. So Shanaz is not entirely by herself. Okay. Cool. So, about I don't know, an hour or two after you folks set off. So you're most of the way into the flight. Probably already breaking atmosphere on the planet. On Gina, you've got your flight plan put in to get down there. There is a spaceport at the ravine. It's not too big. Landing platforms large enough to fit your ship on. The sort of typical kind of things you'd see. It is an unmanned spaceport in that it is all run by automated systems. You log in, you sort of got your credentials and that kind of stuff. It'll let you land and directs you to, like before you leave, pay at Terminal 3 kind of thing. It's like a parking kind of space. So there's all that kind of stuff, all that automated systems go on. Silsila, you notice that it is something you're probably familiar with. It's a colonial agency system. Flashes that kind of stuff up. You just put like generic ship ID. Do you not like?
What do you reckon, Yusuf? I can put my actual colonial identity in. That might give us a bit more access than normal. I mean, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Might as well.
Oh, cool. I'll put my I don't know, my rank insignia number or whatever.
All right, so you're logging it as Silsila's.
Yeah,
Silsila's Emil on the ship rather than just the ship.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent.
Just
All right.
like to be famous.
Okay, you log your entry. It gives you like a flight route to adhere to. Spits you up a little bit of information about the costs of the spaceports and that kind of stuff. And let's make a pilot and roll.
Cool. So that is that plus that. Cool. Oh, I forgot my dice tower. I do have 9 dice.
Okay.
Oh no, there's one over there. I was like, shit.
Excellent.
Yes, I managed 1 success.
Cool. All right, so yeah, you managed to put in the playpan. Fine, you log it over quite well, and you're pretty much set to just press go. You can go and make some coffee, go and play a hand of cards with Hirsch.
Maybe I should start teaching Yusuf how to fly, just in case, I've got other stuff to do.
I'm currently in the chapel making a talisman.
All right, that makes it difficult to steal the ship, to be honest with you.
It is difficult to steal the ship, but much easier to make the talisman.
True. Okay, yeah, no worries then.
So back up in the resort, what is Shanaz doing?
Shanaz is reaching out to our friend, the biotechnician who wanted to get hold of Silsila's blood.
Okay. You're going to put in a call to them because we were told them we were going to get together and discuss whether we were going to let him.
Yeah, I'll ask if I can meet him at his office.
Okay, you're trying to set up an appointment, sort that kind of stuff out. You're kind of sat there going through your data terminal, sending out calendar events, chatting over with a few people, that kind of stuff, arranging things. And our friend Basil comes in, and it's not at all like him. Like, you've only been here a day or so, but every time, like, he's tried to purport himself very professionally, even when you bullied him into getting drunk with whatever it was we got. I think it was brandy or port.
It was whatever that science chief boy
with the fancy alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
It's very out of sorts. Like, he sort of, does that sort of power slide around the corner, runs down the corridor that is exclusively like your access to your suites, runs up and he's like, forgive me, where are Yusuf and Silsila? Have they left?
What's the problem? They're not here right now.
No, I saw because obviously I'm given the details.
Right, stop, calm, take a breath, find your words, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good lad. Now, try again.
I saw they put in a refuel and flight plan to leave the resort. I'm not the only one who saw it. I think somebody has been to tamper with their ship. It's not somebody who's a mechanic who logged in. So I wanted to catch them before they left. Did I miss?
I'm afraid you have missed them, but we can try and contact them now.
Oh, good. Oh no. Okay.
I will try and raise the boys.
Okay. Yeah, you contact them.
Music's playing really loud. Sorry, I can't hear the comm.
Okay. Yeah, it goes unanswered.
I'm joking.
Computer Shanaz override mute shit music.
Excellent. Has override 74. Just that many of them.
Yeah. No, Shanaz has 0 computer-based skills. She has people for that.
All right, so you who answers? Is it Yusuf that answers?
Kind of in the middle of a bit of a trance.
Okay, you away with the icon, so to speak. All right. So Silsila, do you answer?
I guess so, yeah. I guess I wait a little bit to see if anyone else is going to answer it, just like casually barrel rolling my way through the atmosphere, and then I just kind of like whack it with my finger.
Right.
As in to turn the intercom on.
So you see Shanaz composed as always, and behind them, like, Basil is like, kind of like panicked.
I just like nod.
Seems like Basil reckons that somebody might have tried to sabotage the ship. So you might want to take a look over it.
I use lots of swear words. Does he know, like, when, how?
Basil, names, time?
I don't know. I just know the access was from one of the kitchen staff. Kitchen staff don't ever go up to the hangar decks. They're not even assigned a guest to have left a gift for a lover. I don't think it's very good. I'm just suspicious.
Stow away.
rightly so. Right, so kitchen
Nice one,
porter.
Basil.
Check for life signs. Maybe get Kirsch look over the kit. You know what you're doing with the ship better than I do.
Stowaway.
Best case scenario is a stowaway.
Let's all put suits on and I'll open the back of the plane.
Worst case scenario, it might be a bomb.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty bad.
That would
Okay.
be worse than a stowaway, wouldn't it? Please don't get exploded.
I would prefer not to, I think. All right then. That's that's serious. Like, no one's playing like a practical joke or a prank or anything. They're like,
And Basil behind Shanaz leans forward and goes, "We're very serious with our security protocols here, Galadrina. We don't play practical jokes, and people who have access to places they shouldn't don't have access to places they shouldn't, because outside is filled with acidic gas, and we live here."
right, okay.
Like he's making a point that.
For what it's worth, Basil was a little stressed when he came in as well, probably more so than you would expect him to be.
I think he ate your share of the sweet. Bye.
There were sweets.
Sorry, right. Okay, how far away from the actual place am I?
You're probably about 40-odd minutes away.
And obviously, we probably don't want to land on an acidic gas planet then.
This place is not acidic, the moon is.
Right, okay, fair enough
There's
then.
a lot of
I would like to make a piloting roll to figure out, I guess, is there enough atmosphere for me to coast without using the engines or anything else again?
your ship does not have the airframe to
Wings.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. No worries then.
Yeah, it doesn't have the airframe to coast.
It's a brick.
All right then. So I'm going to very.
Oh, you could
firmly-
bounce it off the outer atmosphere. I mean, it still might explode if you do that. But...
Yeah. I guess that I will very sadly firmly close the hatch on the afterburner switches and just pretend it doesn't exist for a bit. I'm going to message Kirsch then, because I would presumably have learned that Yusuf is not contactable.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have private comms, like just ear to ear sort of thing?
I mean, yeah, we've established that there is a.
Okay. Is there any chance, Shanaz, that is that because of the whole Zenithian thing? Just because we're here? Because we left? I mean,
I'll put it on my list.
because if we can figure out who, we might kind of figure out what they might do to kill us.
Well, unfortunately, if it's a kitchen porter, it's probably someone that you or Yusuf would stand a better chance of getting information out of than me, but I'll see what I can do. If it's come from the top, I'll find it.
Fair enough then. I guess there's such a thing as an autopilot.
Yeah.
Okay, I will kick that on. Thank you very, very much for the update, Shanaz. Yeah, hopefully see you soon, eh?
As long as you don't get exploded in the atmosphere.
That's what I'm hoping for, or indeed on once we've landed either.
So we set off across the ship. What's the aim here? We're trying to look for a person or a bomb or.
Yeah. So, do we have something that would scan for life signs or not?
You probably got a heat sensor.
I've
or
got
something.
cameras. Surely we've got cameras.
Okay, so somebody's going to check through all the cameras.
Yeah. So me and Kirsch will go and get Yusuf, because at the moment all we actually know is there's a stowaway and we can't get hold of Yusuf.
Oh yeah.
So, like, realistically, it would be like, all right, let's just. For no
They come
reason.
to the chapel. I'm going to step out with my headphones in or whatever.
Yeah. Does it cut to a scene and you just sat there, just like, and we only hear it from your sounds?
Yeah.
And in run a Skavara and a human.
Yeah,
And I'm just kind of getting up, and I've got a talisman of the deckhand.
Oh, cool.
And I turn to Silsilla and I say, "Hey, Sil, sorry, I was kind of zoned out for a bit there. Here, this is for you."
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you very much for this. I'm afraid that as a return gift, I only have bad news.
What's new?
Well, okay, yeah. Either someone's stowed away, someone's put a bomb on the ship, or something else that I haven't currently thought of. Basil has told us that someone's stuck onto the ship, and we don't know why or if they left or anything else.
They got on the ship. Did they? Do they?
We
know
don't
if
know yet,
They
mate.
got
We
off?
just wondered what was going on with you because we couldn't get hold of you. So probably best. I can go and lock myself in the cabin, and you and Kirsch can search the ship. I'll run through the camera footage in the cabin.
Sure.
Do you want
That
to run through the
sounds-
camera footage?
No, it's fine. It's fine. How's your computer skills?
It's just the cameras.
Sure.
I mean, they're terrible, but you know, you.
What
by
if
all
they
means...
messed with them?
Okay, fine.
I'll
Let's
walk
all
out.
go to the cockpit.
I,
Like nothing.
Captain, I'm winding you up. Go to the cabin. I will search.
While I'm thinking about it, like nothing has felt off on the ship. Like it's as responsive as it should be. It doesn't feel like like the foils on one side don't work or anything like that.
Yeah, seems like it's fine.
Okay, no worries then. So I will go and lock myself in the cockpit then, get the computer to run a diagnostic and look on the camera footage.
All right, so you're gonna make
I was hoping for
data gen
tech.
roll.
Okay, I could make a data gen roll. I don't think I'd be very good at it. In fact, I can't make a data gen roll.
Okay.
In which case, it will have to be Yusuf.
All right. So you go in, you look over the stuff, you realize, shit, this is where I'm probably not as good. And you swap places with Yusuf?
Yeah, I guess so.
He opens the door to come and see me, and I'm standing outside, and I hand him my gun, and I walk in with my fancy tablet, and I say, "I'll sort it out, boss. Don't worry."
Yeah, I will go down with Kirsch. Then.
You're better with this thing anyway. I say with the gun.
So I will leave you to do that because we're on autopilot, and me and Kirsch will go and check out like the engines and stuff.
Are we like stopped and on autopilot, or I look out the window?
We're
Like,
still
are we
moving?
still flying headlong
If we
towards a
don't
giant
find
mountain?
Anything? I might turn off like the locators and the IFF and all the rest of it in case the bomb is set to go off when we like proximity the station.
Or like 5 minutes after we turn on the autopilot? I'll go over to the thing and start data ginning.
All right, me and Kirsch will go look for mechanical interference.
Okay, so you
Don't open the door.
You split up and you head off and you start doing stuff. Shanaz, you're obviously used to the boys being in peril. Flashbacks to the ice moon where we found the Zafira, and you were watching via Baby Jafar's drone. Is it Baby Jafar? Jafar Jr.? I can't remember what
Jafar, Jafar Jr. or Jafar 2, I think.
Iago, wasn't it?
Two.
Was it
Jafar two, I
Iago?
thought.
Maybe Iago. Should have been Iago.
Should
No, that's my bad. I'm not doing any more of that.
That was good.
That's good, but that's as far as it gets. So yeah, it flashbacks to where you were looking at them on the ice planet. Everybody survived. It was all good. We made friends.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah.
On your
It's
tabula,
machinery. They understand that.
on your tabula, you get a confirmation for a meeting with the. You get the proper names because I can't just call them the blood people. It sounds pretty.
The blood people.
They're an institute, aren't they?
They were.
The Institute of Blood.
People. While Millie's
Still
doing
better
that,
than the Bloody People Institute.
True.
They are Nangina's biosculptors, but most of their locations are just the sculptors.
Yeah.
Chief Scientist Axum.
Yeah.
I've got to admit, the sculptors is only slightly less ominous than the Institute of Blood People.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chief scientist.
Makes me think of Zemitzi.
We keep saying it to him, but it's actually her. She's Izana Axum. So you get a confirmation from them. Who they set up a time, or they give a couple of times. So Shanaz has got a convenience to come. And you also get a notification, polite, very, almost too casual for what you were expecting. It's a lady called Hera, and she is the courtesan liaison here on Caladrina. So she'll be somebody who would be akin to a teacher or mentor or somebody of rank in the actual organization, less freelance than yourself, somebody who is part of probably the temple, rather than somebody who works or offers services or companionship as a courtesan. And it's very casual. It's like at your leisure, let's have tea. And that's about it.
Perfect. Lovely. Yeah. Send a reply to that. Maybe suggest a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Quiet times,
Yeah.
Well, when people are out playing squash or whatever it is people do when they're not with their courtesan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely not like around meal times or anything like that.
No, crikey, no. That would be in poor taste.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're quite surprised that almost immediately they confirm whatever time you picked. They confirm just straight up. Like there's no like the tone itself was like, let's have tea sometime, and you say, how about 3:00, and they go yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Like no sort of, oh yes, very good, yeah, your place on my, like it's like yes, and it's at their place. It's at the courtesan lounge or whatever it would be.
Okay, well that could be a really positive thing, or it could be a horrible trap. We'll find out.
Did you offer a time to go before or after going to see the biosculptors?
Probably after the biosculptors.
Okay, cool.
Because we did promise we'd see them in the morning, didn't we? So I need to make them an earlier appointment.
Okay, so you're going to see them in the morning after, whilst not knowing whether Yusuf and Silsila have exploded in Atmo.
Yeah.
Good.
No point sitting around here biting my nails and freaking out over what might have happened.
I mean, that manicure was very expensive.
Yep.
Have a light lunch and then go and chat with the courtesans.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Are you going to take a gift or anything for
the courtesans?
No, for Axum, for the biosculptors.
For Axum, yes, I might do actually. Oh, hang on. Get him. Ow, damn it! You beat me to it.
I got the spammer.
Piss off, ghost. Yes, I will take a small gift for the biosculptors. I'll probably take some tea.
Okay.
Or something like that. Something that you would be harder for them to get.
All right.
I know it's easy to get everything here if you've got a butt ton of cash.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe they don't have a butt ton of cash and they're used to subsisting on like staff rations.
So you take this tea, probably something you've picked up on the way back from the Baron, on the sort of leg to here. Head down to the biosculptors. Basile wants to know if he should prepare anything or he should come with you as you are alone. Adia is like, whatever, you're going to talk to weird people. Boss.
No, I don't think I'll be needing anything straight away, Basile. If you could ask around about this friend of yours in the kitchen who may or may not have had access, perhaps see if there's been a programming error or if somebody requested a member of kitchen staff to go to our ship.
Yeah.
All innocently, of course. Anything you can find out would be a great benefit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And they like begin to get a little bit nervous again. Take a couple of deep breaths and head off to like their station, like the office where they can contact and that kind of stuff from in your residence. You walk through beautiful surroundings, quiet alcoves, wonderful fountains, lush sort of mini gardens in the way, down to
smiling and nodding at the few people that I might know or might be worth knowing.
Mm-hmm. Some folks and others are like just ignore you, not out of like malice or anything else, but like I'm with someone more important and I shouldn't look at anybody else kind of situation. You see there are like quiet cantinas and there's things along almost every kind of environment for whether you're working or leisure or making a business meeting and that kind of stuff, quiet booths and stuff where people are talk hushedly and that kind of thing. Down and along, and there's like this beautiful kind of bizarre kind of area. It's only as you're sort of making your way through do you realize all the kind of staff in the bazaar, all the market owners, all the stall owners, they're actually all the same sort of staff. Not like clones, I don't mean that, but none of them are really like the jolly fruit seller. None of them is really a simple tailor. You know, that kind of stuff. They are all
They're all Garak?
they're all Garak. No,
Shit.
it's trying to recreate that kind of friendly bazaar sort of thing.
Yeah,
but
it's
all
a fake
staged.
bazaar. It's like, hey, look, this is a friendly local bazaar. These people all work for us and have been instructed. It's Disney.
Yeah,
Yeah, based,
almost
yeah.
Disney. You're very
Look,
Las
everyone
Vegas.
is happy. You can tell. They're all smiling because we fire them if they don't.
Literally push them outside if we don't. No, that's not enough. Maybe. But yeah, you wind your way through, and you get to the place, and it does just say above the area, the sculptors. It has a wonderful little lounge where it basically, you know, it's a elective surgery, biosculpting. You can go in, and it talks about like the latest developments. There's some sort of, you know, projector that's showing befores and afters of people who've gone for like beauty biosculpts and that kind of stuff, or some that have gone for like more athletic style kind of biosculpts where, you know, they can.
Oh, yeah, there's so much. You get muscle weaves and skin weaves, and you can have some humanite features kind of added, but they'll even do the really exotic ones where you can have wings and horns and all kinds of spicy nonsense.
Mm-hmm. And these guys, these folks have got that absolutely. It's, you know, they're showing it. There's like digital brochures where you could click through and sort of pick things, and it'll show you if you put in your
Budget.
not budget, but your like avatar, so to speak, like your digital Bitmoji or whatever.
This is what you would look like if you had this upgrade.
Yeah, and it's, you know, all that kind of stuff. And there's small disclaimers like 3% of people cannot, you know, sustain this biosculpt for more than 2 cycles kind of thing, or, you know, 17,000 burr per cycle to maintain feathers sort of situation.
Yeah.
A rigorous regime of keratin must be consumed to maintain horns of over, you know, that kind of disclaimers as you read through the thing. And one of the staff member, when they suddenly realize, like, they don't do anything so gauche as ask you for your name, they say, oh, Shanaz, welcome. We have a meeting room set up for you and Chief Scientist Axum. Follow me, please.
Lovely, thank you.
They lead you down into some rooms. As you're walking down, on one side you can see a lab, like a working lab, and there's these folks. In some situations, they're like 3D rendering and showing like how certain, it's bones and sinews and that kind of stuff, and you can see them sort of bio printers like fabricating these things, probably on the back of a mouse or something ridiculous as they do. Tools, not in no way at all like a Bacta tank or anything like that happening in these. Not mixing our stuff, our sci-fi here, but there's all this kind of stuff, and it's all down one side, and you can't hear a thing from them. So this glass that's in between them must be.
You can't hear the screams.
Yeah, you can't hear the screams, nor like there must be a noise from like these printers, these vats, and these things going on, but you can't hear anything. It's just beautiful. You can just hear like indulgent footsteps on thick carpet kind of thing. And the staff member leads you down, comes to a room, and in there already is sat person we've met before, Chief Scientist Axum, behind a desk. And they like, thank you for coming all this way. Like, it was a long and arduous journey, you know, from your residence to here. It took you about.
Hey, I came
30
to
minutes.
her.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Thank you for coming all this way. Is Silsila, is Mr. Zamil not with you?
That's what I've come to discuss. I wonder if I shall look at whoever showed me in. Thank you.
Yeah, they leave. They've got a tail probably or something. I don't know. They've got some sort of biosculpt.
Do you have a privacy field for the
Um,
office,
If
or
if
a
you feel
static field?
that's necessary, yes, and
I
like
think it would be to your benefit, certainly.
like a noticeable change in light. Nothing like it goes from blue to green, but it goes from like hard white light to softer orange or something. Still a natural color, but not aggressive. And yeah, it flicks over, and they say you may continue in privacy.
Much better, thank you. Well, it's a delicate political matter, you see, and I felt it best to come to you and be upfront and honest. I'm sure you suspect that Mr. Zamil is probably not quite the Zenithian bloodline that he's being presented as.
Well, obviously we take everything that comes from the hegemony as the word of truth. Why would we suspect that the Zenithian media would deceive anyone?
Well, why indeed?
There's a level here of
Sorry, still here. Carry on.
cool. I panicked.
Oh, my camera was doing its thing, so I pressed the wrong button.
There is a level of you here, like she's wondering if you're testing her. Like, is she under, like...
Obviously, the hegemony would never dream of inserting falsehoods into the narrative of the true origin of our people in the Third Horizon. That would be scandalous, shocking, betrayal of trust, you could almost say.
And they
which
not.
is what leads us to the delicacy of our situation. You see, Mr. Zamil has no evidence to support his claim. His claim was bestowed upon him by, who was it that did the bestowing? I forgot the guy's name.
It was the Admiral guy.
It was the Admiral.
It's like the head of the fleet, the guy who was here. Hang on.
I mean, Shanaz would probably use his first name anyway, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Jim.
Jim. He's not called Jim.
I know he's not. I picked the most unstatements-like name I could. So if your name is Jim, I apologise. It's a great name.
Hey, Jim Kirklow.
I mean, he's also called Tiberius.
Mm-hmm. A Baron Kassar. No.
Of course, Captain Kassar. I remember. Yes, Captain Kassar. I'll start off with a Baron, actually. A Baron bestowed, Captain Kassar, my apologies, bestowed the title upon Silsila after using his staff to extensively research his bloodline during the festivities at the Cyclade ball. Now, this is where things become somewhat awkward. This was done for political reasons and not out of strict biological truth.
Axum, she looks at you and she says, if you need it to be strict biological truth, it could.
That's very encouraging to know. That's what I wanted to discuss with you, was how we could arrange the situation to our mutual benefit.
Our biosculpting could indeed introduce the appropriate Zenithian markers to Mr. Zamil's DNA, so that should anybody ever question who wasn't a Kassar, would have biological proof they were aboard the Zenith upon arrival to the horizon.
That would be very useful.
In exchange for us having full DNA sampling to add to our search.
From Mr. Zamil?
Well, potentially yourself and any other... how would she put it? She probably doesn't want Yusuf's... largely because Yusuf doesn't look pure-born.
Or Yusuf. He could be the lost prince of Dabara, for all we know.
He could be the lost scion of Earth, and we No one would take his DNA. In exchange for full DNA from Mr. Zamil and any other cultured members of your crew and entourage.
I understand what you seek there. So that would be Mr. Zamil and myself offering up biological samples. And what would you use these samples for?
We see it as our spiritual, our calling, our goal to sequence and understand the genetic code of the people. Our search for perfection within humanity is incomplete until we have had as broad a sample as possible. Each new DNA chain we examine brings us that step closer.
I understand the spiritual side of your quest. It's not the way I personally worship, but I can understand your drive to seek perfection in such a way. As you can tell, I have sought perfection through a different path. But I see that there are changes coming. I'm often assumed to be little more than a face, but there is more to me than you might see on Stars of Dabara, for instance. And I would certainly be...
Excellent. Yeah, goes off for a moment.
I'm glad you approve. I foresee a situation in the not too distant future where there may be certain shifts in and around the region, and people who can navigate them will be of some use, and it would be good to be friendly with such folk. I know that you don't care much for politics. It is not the nature of your work. You seek perfection, you seek truth. And politics is a lying business. It is, however, one I have become familiar with the navigation of. I have friends in places, quite a few places, and I would be very grateful to count you among them and support you and assist you in whatever ways you see fit, whilst also happily donating to you a sample of my own genetic build as well. There has been some editing already done. You may recognize
Gina, it's good work. I wish you'd come to the sculptors. We could have done so much more subtle details.
And it's the subtlety that interests me here. You see, I've had my eye on something in case of emergencies for a while. And I wonder if it might be possible, as a part of our arrangement, to also include a small piece of work for me.
She smiles in the manner of a Wayland Yutani executive would smile. Definitely getting all the sci-fi genres in. Yeah, but she definitely has. It starts off like a smile, but we know it's so much more.
Oh yeah, this is horse trading time.
Yeah. And as she smiles, we will look back over at the folks on the spaceship. As a loud bang followed by several violent vibrations, lights and flash, and a high-pitched wail of a collision arm fills the ship. The ship begins to plummet through the greenish-yellow atmosphere of Gina, becomes trapped in a spin. All thrusters strain to the max in an attempt to retain control of the ship on the autopilot. You hear heavy rain begin to hammer on the cockpit of the window, and the hull groans in an unnerving way. Finally, Silsila and Kirsch return to the bridge, managing to...
I didn't touch anything.
You round the descent and stop the spinning. After a few moments, the worst seems to subside. Racing hearts slow down, and perhaps there's a small prayer sent to the traveller in the quiet darkness, interrupted only by the intensifying barrage of rain against the front of the craft. You made it. You can land on the port, but your ship has seen some better days.
Well, that was slightly unfortunate.
I like tap on the see if there's any kind of damage report or way to figure it out.
Um,
Oh, the left half of the ship's not working.
yeah, the left
I'm
half of
guessing
the ship
that's
is
the
not working.
damage pit.
Yeah, you
It's just
could
a
make
question mark on the map of the thing.
Yeah.
you can make a technology
Oh.
test.
We could
Okay.
both do that. What do you get? I get 7 dice.
I'll assist you.
All right, so
Okay,
that'd be
fair enough
8.
then. I do wonder if after Silsila does his genetic scan, if she's just going to write the word wanker on the alleles. of
Just
his,
engrave it.
genetic code. 8 dice. 1, 2, 4, 5. Yes. 1, 2, 3. I got 3.
Critical success.
Yeah.
All right.
Quick high five with Yusuf.
The breakdown appears to be located in the energy distributors. As you head down with Kirsch to look a little bit more, you realize that you're probably better off looking at it from the outside. The components in here are mostly just burned through a strange kind of overload.
Someone ruined the dilithium crystal.
Yeah, someone's ruined the dilithium matrix. Have we got all of the sci-fi franchises?
Oh,
in
we
yet?
can still
To be
squeeze
honest
some
with you, to be honest
Firefly
with you.
in somewhere.
I thought we just were by the
Just swear
nature
at
of playing.
Chinese. But before you mentioned the sci-fi references, when we were just setting off, I was like, can I like bastardize and just say punch it, Yusi, at some point? Which is why I tried to get you to have a flying lesson so I could say punch it, Yusi.
Oh.
It's all right. I was like, I'll
Next
say
time.
it, but now we're talking about sci-fi references, so it's all cool.
As you head outside, like you notice, like the air is breathable.
Before we go, I'll update Shanaz.
Okay, send a message.
I say stuff went bang. We've landed. Check later.
Stuff went bang. We landed.
I did tell them.
Yeah.
Are you married yet? Question.
Yeah, all right then. So I guess we should gear up. Did you see anything on the cameras though? That's important.
Hang on.
The side of the
messages.
ship just disintegrating.
2 successes on a data gen roll.
Right, so looking over the cameras before we had the bang and the rapid descent onto Gina, there was nothing in flight. You have to. Nobody's come on board. None of the doors or none of the accesses were used. There is a small power fluctuation about 40 minutes before you're due to take off, like in the charging systems. There's a power fluctuation. And then there's a notice, when you install the wrong kind of cartridge in your online printer and it just has a bit of a meltdown.
Yep.
Someone's installed the wrong kind of power coupling in a section. It's having a little bit of a moment in the sort of updates, but then it just gets over itself. Someone's dismissed it a bunch of times and it's just like, all right, fine, told you. Plus, the ship is old and it's probably had this done a bunch of times anyway.
So someone's done some quite clever sabotaging. Just it's designed to look as if your piece of junk didn't last longer. But you didn't see anyone coming onto the ship, like.
No, it's been done from the outside.
Okay.
Nothing on the internal cameras.
All right then. So no
External
stowaway.
interference.
Yeah. No one's poisoned our food or stolen our t-shirts. Cool. Should we go outside then?
T-shirts. Yeah, we head outside. The air smells very farty out here. It's not
Side-eye Kirsch.
That's a familiar smell.
yeah. But yeah, it might smell a little bit like alcohol. But the atmosphere is breathable.
I meant more like the interior of our ship.
Oh yeah, there's no change really. No change. It smells very farty, very biological. Like the air and the processing. There's obviously some sort of terraforming or something going on here to make it a little bit more habitable, but you can still get a lot of the scent from the bogs and the fens and all that kind of place that takes up a lot of Gina. You head out. You move around the side of your ship. Are we doing this with like guns and that kind of stuff, or are we?
Yeah, Vulcan carbine's out, and the I don't have any armor. I don't think. So, although I had some money, but I didn't.
Yeah, I meant to
Buy
buy
anything.
a better gun and I completely forgot. Never mind.
You could probably buy some when you get back to
Yeah.
Caliban.
Yeah.
I do have
We're on holiday, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we didn't
What
think
did
to
you
buy
on
any better
holiday? I
guns.
bought a
So
machine gun.
yeah.
So that's cool, and then we'll just let Kirsch do what Kirsch does.
Okay. Kirsch kind of heads around to the side of the ship, knowing where to go straight away. As soon as, like Yusuf says, there's some sort of power coupling, and you've been down and looked there, like I know. Okay. And they head off and they head round. Who is like keeping guard, watching point, that kind of stuff? Who is the?
Are we both doing it?
Well, I've got a carbine, which is a slightly longer range weapon than a pistol, so I might sort of be on a bit of a lookout.
Okay. Make is it observation? Yeah, observation.
Yep. Here we go. 0 successes, but I'm going to use my reroll from Nara Nedzeka. 2 successes.
Excellent. All right, so sort of this whole place is like on pads, buttered up next to like rock faces and ravines and all kinds of, it's a very sort of rocky kind of place. And from around one of the natural formations, you see a glow before you actually realize or see the person. But you realize up ahead, someone is coming around the ravine. They're not necessarily trying to be stealthy because they've got a glow on them, but also they've not like radioed ahead, or they've not tried to shout out anything yet. But yeah, you have the advance upon them if you wish to just run over there and just preemptively murder them.
It's gonna be on those Joes.
Is it a joke?
Is there any indication of who they are, or what? Is there any kind of identifying stuff?
As they kind of move through the sort of haze of the short distance, like the atmosphere here is a bit foggy. You can see it's a human. It's definitely not like a Skavaran or like some of the humanites have like a naturally sort of long gait and that kind of stuff. And there probably are some humanites working around here if the terraforming and that kind of stuff in the area. So it's definitely a human. They look like they've got like this bandolier of fiber optics or something wrapped around them. And they are pulling maybe like a small car or a wheelbarrow or something behind them.
So like salt of the earth, a worker.
It's that guy
I'm not
from like the first book, isn't it? Like down in the markets thing, there was that guy who was convinced about the void creatures. Didn't he have all that stuff?
He had a whip made of fiber optics. Yeah.
I'm not going to sneak up and murder him.
Okay.
I am, however, going to cover him with my gun and sort of be like, "Stop! Who are you?" And Sil.
I'll look up. I guess I'll hold my gun, but not at them. And yeah, I'll just, what point to Yusuf, what he said.
Okay. So you shout out like, "Stop! Who are you? What's going on?" And the figure does stop. There is a moment or two, and then like a voice shouts back, "My name is Nina Jack. I sometimes get work for loading. I came to see if you needed anything loading or unloading. You're not a scheduled ship."
Yeah. Okay.
Nina Jack.
I'll lower my gun. I'm like a bit twitchy. Okay.
Did you have some trouble flying down? And they begin to like approach again. Wasn't a normal entry.
I'm gonna talk nicely, but I'm gonna fan out away, so I'm not standing right next to Silsila. So, like,
Yeah. So we
oh, a bit of, it's a bit of an old rust bucket. This ship. Had to patch it up so many times. Oh.
I mean, I do a little bit of repairs for spare spur if you need. I'm a bit of a tech gin if you need a hand. I could. And you hear Kirsch like growl like this is my ship. But my rates are the best on Gina.
Do we have money?
Yeah, I'll look around like.
Like, we could ask him to be our guide.
Yeah, we need more sort of information about.
Yeah, and I'm assuming we have either some money or some kind of credit.
We've each got like $2,000 in
I
Burr.
forgot about that. Yeah.
Don't forget, you've got like shitloads of t-shirts as well.
That is very true.
Damn right. Did you ever sign any of them? They're worth at least double then.
Oh yeah, I've signed.
I've signed them, Shanaz.
Yeah. I mean, I probably signed one or two, and then just let Yusuf do the rest.
Yeah.
It looks like this.
Whatever. I've already done them.
What are we going to tell this guy we came down here for, by the way? Because, secret message probably isn't the best opener.
We're ridiculously rich dilettantes who have come to slum it on the planet's surface for fun.
Yeah, I could say that my uncle was in the space colonial thingy, and we just come to check it out. All right, then.
But yeah, Ninny Jack's like, my rates are the best on the planet. If you need parts or anything,
Kirsch, do you want a hand or some parts or anything?
Kirsch, you can hear as they're like waist deep in the ship. It's like, help, no, parts probably.
Okay, cool. Like, does Nina Jack look like a human or a humanite?
They look human.
Okay.
She looks probably a little shorter than Silsila. She's Silsila's quite tall, right?
Yeah.
So she's a bit shorter than Silsila. Very skinny. She's got this weird sort of hat on. Every now and again, it kind of moves around. This bandala. There we go. Bandolier, even. She's got a band with her.
Okay.
Bandolier of fiber optics. And you can see this cart she's got. It's very definitely like patched together from a bunch of different things. It's got tarpauling and tubs and boxes on. A less trusting person might think she's come to take stuff off the ship if there had been no survivors.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that would bother like Silsila. Like, if you find salvage, that's what it is. It's salvage.
Yeah.
Right?
Honest, hard work.
Indeed.
So
we're really going to pretend that we're rich Egypt who've just come down to
no.
Because I was going to say, I don't think I want to do that.
I don't think I can pass that off as well. It's like we were up on the couldn't stand it. We thought we'd come down, see the
find a bar,
She laughs. She's like, we have one cantina back at town.
Sounds great.
It's the best one on Gina.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that joke gets used. She uses it all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
So can Kirsch just tell us what parts we need via our communications?
Yeah, it's some sort of energy coupler kind of thing.
She already knows.
Vaguely.
All right, then. I guess we'll say, look, we need a blah, 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 as in make and model energy coupler.
Yeah.
Anything else, Kirsch?
I think Kirsch gives you like a couple of options. Like, if you can get one of these, that's the official part. But I could do it with one of them and two of this. Or failing that, get me 6 of them and this much tape. That kind of that sort of list kind of thing.
We're going to tape the outside of our ship.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't really, by the way. I'm going to apply it anyway. All right, then, yeah, so...
My green beer has become see-through.
Oh, okay. Is that the lemon and slime thing?
Yeah.
Cool. Can I try a little bit?
There you go. Cool. There you go. You should be able to see the real colour of my beer. There we go.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. This is Vault City lemon and slime.
Yeah.
It smells delicious. When I got it anywhere near my mouth, I was like, "Oh my god, that smells
Beer
great."
tasting with Millie and Graham. That's a new
It's a whole new show.
whole new show. YouTube only.
It's actually amazing.
Yeah.
They've got some more on Thursday. I'll be getting one. All right then.
Good
So
to know. Anyway,
yeah, apologies
Meanwhile,
for
back
the
to the game.
slight interruption of normality to Coriolis City.
yeah. So Ninja Jack will lead you to Aram's ravine, where there is only one cantina.
I'll try and I guess we can both try and make small talk with her.
Mhm.
Yeah, like how long she's been here? How come she ended up here? Oh, the darkness
Friend of
point
ours
went
came through
because
here
of
a
the
while ago.
explosion.
Yeah, Darkness Point went.
I was like,
making
the
you crash.
darkness point gone. Something bad is going to happen.
Something bad has already happened.
Mm.
All right, so yeah, she leads you back to her workshop first and foremost. She leads you back there. You're gonna read a mind?
Yes.
Okay.
Do a short me.
Do a short way. Oh,
No, this is headache moment. Oh, I got a bit of a headache.
Just stand between you and her and jab her away.
okay. Yeah, make your Mystic Powers roll.
Yep. Right, here we go. One success.
Cool. So she is indeed a little bit annoyed that you are
Alive.
alive.
Yeah.
Not like malicious annoyed, just like,
Yeah.
damn, that ship looks like it's got some good parts.
I could have done with that.
You know, I could have done with those that plating for such and like she's got a job list of things in her head that she's like, I could have used that, I could have recycled that, more of this. You know, it looks like it's got meters and meters of that, the other. What was that thing that they've got in the fixing it? That didn't look like a proper person. What was that? Is that one of them Skavaran I've heard of? You know, it's like a brain going 100 miles an hour, thinking 50 tabs open, all different sort of stuff. And all the while, like Silsilla can hear her talking about like, oh, the cantina's not very. We only have one cantina, but it's, you know, it's all right. It's quite nice. What is it called? It's called the Oasis Cantina.
Because of course it is.
Yeah. It's been run by the same family for, you know, a few generations now. I bet they'll get on with this. So and so. What name does she mention there? It doesn't. She doesn't think of a name. She wonders if you'll be interested in the games of Shah, which is like a gambling game.
Hell yeah.
That kind of
That's
stuff.
good.
Wonders like, is Silsilla wearing like a uniform?
I live in my flight suit.
Okay. Wonders if you know that's a real uniform or whether you've just
To be fair, it does have. I would never have bothered taking the Rangers patches off.
yeah there, and whether you'd have to go and report in to the colonial agent who's on planet. What's his name?
I would ask her about that because I gave it my real name.
Morrow. Ulan Morrow.
Like, how much would Silsilla think would be a good amount to hire her as a guide for the day?
I mean, this place is probably pretty poor. The fact that she's thinking about, well, you don't know but you're probably aware that she's a scavenger of some kind. A couple of $100 bear would probably more than enough for like a whole segment, a whole month's worth of
A whole
stuff.
month?
Yeah, because most of the stuff here is going to be like barter and that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
You'd probably get a bet, like if you had something fancy from the resort, that would probably be much better than Burr.
Okay, so I'll try and hire her time for the next day, and I'll offer to pay in beer or t-shirts, or we'll bring something from up there. Like it's all free, so we can just bring like.
She's not enamored by the idea of not having it now.
That's
like
fine.
the promise of you coming back with stuff. She's like,
I'll
no,
tell you
what have you got?
I can
Like
pay you, and whatever I pay you, trade me for whatever I bring back.
Are you coming back? You're not even left. You might decide Aram's ravine is so pretty. You're going to stay forever.
We've
And
got
she
an
laughed.
employer.
She genuinely knows you're not going to think that.
Yeah, we've got an employer.
But yeah, you sort of pick up that her brain is operating like at 3,000 miles per hour. Never give this kid sugar. She's probably just going to.
Oh, is she like a
some
kid?
sort of. Yeah, she's probably no more than a teenager.
Okay,
late
very
teen.
good.
She's lived here all her life.
Does she have the part Hirsch wants?
She thinks she does, but when you get to the workshop, it's evident she doesn't keep a very good inventory.
Typical teenage bedroom.
Yeah, it's just a workshop of everything everywhere. But like a glance over it, it looks like she's very clever in what she's doing and how she's repairing things and making do. Yeah.
We should hire a Yusuf.
Maybe.
I mean, it wouldn't take much for anyone to leave this place, let's face it.
Seems hardworking.
We are just going to collect all the waifs and strays from around the horizon and put them
We
on
are
the ship.
waifs and strays, that's why. Like,
Just
it's
a
like
big-
the opposite of game recognizes game. I guess it's lame recognizes lame, isn't it?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean, we literally have a crew of, well, us plus 2. And it's supposed to need like 6 or 8, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
I figured we'd fill it up.
All right. So when you get there, she has like some sort of ground vehicle that will help you get along the route to the edge of the ravine where where the settlement is.
Okay, is that where the signal came from?
What signal?
I'm not
Aram's
asking her,
ravine.
I'm asking Yusuf.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Well, yeah, as far as I could tell, kind of,
Okay. Yeah, let's go there then.
I was pretty hungover, to be honest.
I mean, you could ask her where like the server terminals are and stuff for comms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
I'll
wanna-
just say, like, we have to, like, tell our employer what we're doing and things like that, so they can tell us when they're leaving. Is there somewhere we can send a message and stuff?
If you need to use like the public light, yeah. Well, she laughs when she says it's just the hotel. Is where where the settlement houses all the colonial servers and stuff. So if you wanted to use that network, I'm sure Moro would let you. I think it's only a couple of burr for message to use it for the data.
Okay. What do you
Great.
think, Yusuf?
Yeah, it sounds good.
So we
yeah.
bundle into the little ground vehicle.
I mean, Yusuf was sat in the back texting each other like teenagers when he tells me what he learned.
And we leaving Kirsch with the ship.
I'm assuming Kirsch's okay with that, but I'll check with her.
Yeah, Kirsch is fine with it. She's gonna have to scrape out and then she starts listing like things she's gonna have to clean before she can
Like,
do
does
any
she want
repairs.
any help, or us to like leave her with a weapon or anything?
She doesn't ask for one.
No, but I'll ask her.
I'm not very good at shooting things. I've normally just hit things, but if you want, I'll have.
I don't mind.
We
Like,
did practice back on the desert planet. Adia said I'm not very good and took it off me.
you know what? Maybe I should keep it then. If anyone comes to like attack the ship, just hide and tell them we're off in this other gaff and they can come and get us there.
Okay, if someone comes, say sorry, nobody is home. Thank you for calling. Come back later.
Yeah. Tell them we've gone to the hotel.
Okay, you're going to stay in the hotel.
It's not a real hotel. I think it's a joke name.
Oh. If they have a nice restaurant, please send me some takeout.
Yeah, no bother. Doesn't look very capybara friendly around here.
Good. Like, she misunderstands what you mean.
Yes, I
Yeah.
understood that. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Brilliant.
Yes, that's tasty. Okay, thanks. Bye. I'm going to clean now. Bye.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're happy to stay there. If you want to leave them, if you want to force a gun on them, they'll take it, but they're not.
Yeah, you shouldn't seem that bothered. So, I mean,
She's just happy Skavara fixing broken spaceships all around the third horizon, not being, persecuted for not being human.
We love Kirsch.
Yeah.
Kirsch is so nice.
Yeah.
I'd be tempted to let them have a capybara or two.
I mean, we do keep trying to buy them, but they're not on commonly sold items.
No, you probably have to get one shipped in.
We could just tell the rich people to get some capybaras for us that we're going to keep. We should probably make that quite clear. Otherwise, we have to explain that they were eaten.
Where did the capybara go? Shanaz, there, after she smiles at you like a crocodile, is there like an extensive level of negotiations? Or is it just like vague?
Oh yeah, I'll stretch it out to make it entertaining, but I know what I want, and I think I know what she wants. So as long as both of those things get met, if you want, I'm happy to manipulate the ever-loving shit out of her.
Yeah, let's make an opposed manipulation. See who gets the kind of upper hand.
Okay. Does she find me attractive?
Curious. She probably finds the knowledge of your biosculpts and your DNA that she's being offered attractive. So yes.
Good. Yes, we like that. So I'm not being malicious. That's 2 there. That's not gonna fly. That's 2 there. 4 for that.
Old what Ben calculates there.
13.
Oof.
Three successes.
Oh, me too. All right. So,
Oh, she's good.
yeah, she does have
She get a newfound level of respect for that.
she gets 3 successes. She does have a good manipulation pool. So there's like a calculated backwards and forwards going between you, more or less. She gets everything she wants, which is mostly a complete and sample of both yours and Silsila's DNA. She also gets you to confirm that there are, the people on your ship. So she knows that you're not like hiding anyone.
Well, I will point out to her that on our ship we have the 2 low-class people, one of which is Silsila, and a Humanite and a Skivara. But I'll kind of like brush all of them off, like
the Humanite and Skivara she's immediately uninterested in. There's a bit of conversation, a bit of back and forwards about who is this Yusuf, where did he come, and when you start saying like he was a miner or a laborer or something from somewhere,
dirty laborer, he's just a mess,
first come rather than Zenithian and that kind of thing.
I want to kind of downplay everybody else's importance and make them sound, I genuinely value the rest of the crew. They are actually important to Shanaz, but because of who Shanaz is, she's probably kind of expected to treat them like shit. Yeah. So in order to spare them being exposed to manipulation by someone who's this good at manipulating people, I'll try and downplay them as much as possible.
Yeah. So there's a bit of like negotiation around who is Yusuf. Once you kind of get into it, she takes it, whether he is or he isn't, first come and lowborn and, worked in the mine, that kind of stuff. Picked him up because he's quite technical with some of the aspects of an old junker ship that we're on, that kind of stuff. She's like, okay, fine, whatever. We're fairly convinced that
she doesn't really want him anyway because he's got the Mystics disease, and that'd be horrible. But I'm not going to tell her that.
Yeah, we don't tell her that he's got the Mystics disease. Immediately when you say and perhaps she has like some CCTV footage or from the party or something, like immediately like, who is this person from the ship and who is this person we saw, and like, that's Adia, they're a Humanite, they've got gills, we needed them for a job when we were reclaiming something, whatever.
We stole them from some pirates.
Yeah, we released it, we saved them from pirates.
We actually bought her, I think. We paid for her in salvage.
No.
And Kirsch.
No. Oh, maybe you did, I can't remember.
Yeah, we bargained for them.
Oh, sorry.
Like, we don't own them.
No, we don't own them, and we didn't buy them so much, but their crew
we negotiated
let them
their
go
release
for a settlement fee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We agree to this, and also, now I don't know whether you're thinking that you'll be getting the biosculpting right now or in the near future. So potentially,
That was kind of the plan. Yes, was to get it done ASAP and let it heal or whatever.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. She could be like, well, we need some pre-sculpting prep to be done, which might be like consume this specific diet for a so there's like narratively time for us to get to wherever we want to be for this biosculpting. And then also in the negotiation, perhaps there's like a limited amount of upkeep depending on what the biosculpt is. So that's all included. As is the agreement here on Caladrina. You have 2 days to review the document and the agreement, and we will pay and it turns like that sort of like we have to tithe some of our money to the place for conducting business on here and outside of these jurisdictions and under this law and that kind of stuff. And there's backwards and forwards about which law we will put this under and that kind of stuff. But essentially, you both get what you want out of it.
Yeah, we negotiate kind of a zero-sum contract, effectively, where we both win and both don't win.
Don't quite win. So yeah, she
that Ferengi game where you win by compromising, so no one wins.
Yay. Confront, evade. And so she promises she'll get you that. She thanks you for your time. The privacy field kind of dismisses. Some point a discrete button must have been pressed because moments after the privacy field is done, in comes the staff member and is like, "Oh, I have a wonderful set of brochures for you that you might like to view, Janaz. Come with me. I can forward them to your things. I just need your thumbprints," kind of thing. Your idents.
That sounds lovely. Let's do that.
And you leave Axum sat there to check with legal, like the legal doctor they have, or the legal gin or whatever, the lawyer. And you're free to go and get lunch and relax. Basile is a bit like, I'm not sure. I think I know who it is, but I need to go down to the kitchens. Would you like me to get something while I'm there?
Yeah, that's a good idea. If you could pick me up a light lunch, nothing too fancy, and then I'll rattle off a list of incredibly fancy delicacies.
Yeah, stuff from the Baron and stuff from further afield, and maybe some macaroons or something, that kind of stuff. And
small dainty things that you can eat without getting stodgy.
Picky lunch.
And
he heads off to sort that for you. We have a quiet lunch, and then we're off to meet Hera even, the courtesan liaison here at Caladrina, from the temple. Do you make any special preparations for this? Is there a costume change?
Costume change, check her background, preferences, see what her rider's like, all that kind of stuff.
Her rider, her sort of like presence is very minimal in terms of stuff. Like it lists a couple of teas, lists like some of her favorite songs or operas and that kind of stuff, but nothing like formal listings of other people on the net would have.
I'll pick out a couple of things that pair well with her favorite teas then. Sweets, biscuits, little things like that.
Yeah. And we head down to see her at the courtesan lounge. When you arrive, there is only one other courtesan there, and he sort of greets you as if you were a client, as if you were a guest of the courtesans. And you know full well he knows who you are. How could he not? But he does in turn, greet you and welcome. We have your tea and your food, refreshments set out, and there is a beautiful setup in the lounge area. Nobody else is there.
Interesting.
Nobody else is there, and you would expect maybe at this time to have like just a few people there, perhaps a poem
not
reading
necessarily.
or something.
Not if they've cleared it for a quiet down low, either a high profile client or because the courtesans want to have a quiet word.
Mm-hmm.
Both of these things are possibilities, but we'll be a little guarded and a little cautious. Maybe sit where we can see as much as possible.
Yeah, so you take up like a cushion in a nice place, and he comes and he sets out drink. He gives you there's as much of a selection as one can. He retires to a corner and starts playing like some sort of stringed instrument kind of thing. One that shows how delicate and how dexterous his fingers are, something like that. Something
clever boy.
Slightly suggestive, but very tasteful in terms of that kind of stuff. And after a few moments, Hera comes out, absolutely subdued, like you would, like, not ostentation, very like aesthetic in comparison with the lush surroundings of the courtesan lounge. It's like if there's if there is detailing on her robe, you'll have to be close to see it woven into the fabric. If you didn't have a level of culture that Shanaz has, you'd probably think she was part of the staff. But there is a tiny bit too much grace in her movements, and everything is, perfect. Like, it is 20 steps from the door to the table. Not 19, not 20 to 20 exactly enough steps, like that kind of stuff. Perfect. The table, her placement is set so exactly her tabula fits in between placement of this and the placement of the fruit kind of stuff. It's like pinpoint accuracy, so she doesn't even look, kind of thing. And she looks at you, she places her hands like in her lap as she sits, and she's like, Shanaz, I trust you are well.
Very well, thank you. Lovely to make your acquaintance.
I have heard a lot about you recently.
Your young man is very talented.
He is so very talented. He's practiced for many years before he has even been allowed to play a full chord.
Very wise. It's important to develop basic skills before you advance. You were saying, I do apologize, you've heard news?
I've heard lots about you recently. You've been spoken of in many quiet circles for many reasons. It's interesting you talk about practice and learning, because we have to practice for a long time before we're allowed to strike a chord. Those who would suggest they know the chords before they've even learned them would suffer great pain should they try to pretend their mastery is more than it is.
Understandably so. And yet sometimes if one is forced into a situation where one must play for one's life, desperation can drive strange requirements.
No one's a sufferer of death for playing a violin.
Well, you know how obsessive some folk can get.
And she smiles, takes a sip of tea. And how is your worship? Are you still attending temple and following the icon's footsteps in all you do?
Of late, I have found worship to be more necessary than ever. Vital, one could say. The dancer is a comfort in these trying times.
And she is, you can tell she's trying to work out like how much of a comfort. In the same sort of way somebody would say, I like a beer. Like, are you an alcoholic or do you like a beer?
A danceaholic.
Yeah, no, she's, because there's like a certain level of stuff that Shanaz has been involved in, specifically saying she was a vestal for an ancient being or something.
Yeah, Shanaz has claimed a few things that aren't strictly true from time to time.
We would never do that.
So she leans forward, studying you, and she says, "Correct worship is vital. The temple has spent a long time trying to eradicate old, impure, and incorrect worship of the icons."
Understood. And if you look to my recent past, you will see that I have attempted to do likewise.
The temple is concerned, Shanaz, that you are not following our ways in the same way other courtesans should. Go great pains to make our academies teach you the proper forms and understand the icon's true intent. Do not be swayed by secrets that have long gone.
No, that is not my intent in the slightest. I'm glad we're able to have this conversation. I've been hoping to speak with someone more practiced in the ways of the temple than I for a while now, but sometimes find myself running from situation to situation, almost as though danger follows close on my heels.
So she takes a big sip of tea and she says, "Allow me to do some education."
It would be my pleasure.
And she begins to, and I'll tell you some stuff, maybe in Discord and things.
Yeah.
As the camera kind of fades out and she spills some secrets to Inaz. Yusuf, Silsila, and Ninajak arrive at Aram's Ravine. This place is... it has an effect that they somehow thought, perhaps, in the low distance between Caladorina and here, they could build a couple of fancy hotels, a gift shop, and then also people would want to come and stay at the miners' town on Aram's Ravine, on Gina. As you're sort of driving in this bumpy ground vehicle, possibly to the disdain of Silsila, it's got no shock, no suspension. It's not very good. Not a very good vehicle. As you're driving in, you can see these big kind of, and it looks like it should have at one point been a very luxurious looking hotel. But it is stained like orange, like yellowy green. And let me see.
It's like Blackpool instead of Vegas.
It's not even Blackpool. You can see that like there are on the walls on the building like tiny little pock marks, like it was built way back before the acid in the atmosphere here had been scrubbed enough. You can see that like this acidic sort of pock marks all over the stone and stuff as it wore through much faster than they thought it would. And then this strange sort of greenish blue lichen has grown over all the places where the garden would have been. There is this odd looking fountain that's more fuzzy than actually pretty as you drive past. And you head further towards the town. The ravine itself is a bunch of, and Silsila will probably know them very well. Yusuf, probably in his travels from Algol to wherever, has probably stayed and or hidden in the back of some of them. They're colonial agency prefabs, and they're dropped down from the ship, like massive container kind of stuff that's then split into smaller containers and becomes, put 3 of them together and you've got a cantina, put 2 of them together, you've got a home for 10, that kind of stuff. One of them plus this on top. Homes. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
I'm home.
Yeah. And you can see strung between them all are like strings of LEDs, like lights and stuff strung between them all. And it's got this kind of hazy kind of glow between them. There are some parts where it literally spans a ravine, and there are bridges that go over these cracks down into the ground. You can, Yusuf might realize they're probably using some of the vents for geothermal energy and heating and that kind of stuff.
We were expecting a ravine, so
Yeah. There are some folks who are still walking around with like breathers on and masks on, absolutely without a beat. Like Yusuf, you realize they are still mining things here. Probably not just gases. There's got to be some sort of physical minerals that they're taking out of Gina as well. And then these folks are dirty. You can see them. Some of them are heading towards some place. You'll know there'll be a bathhouse or something around here that folks will go, because it's too small a place for everybody to have like good hot running water. There'll be a cantina. There might even be like an unofficial bar or a gambling house or something that they keep to themselves, where the miners will go, that sort of thing. And then there'll also be somewhere, you probably spot it, like a round building, which will be their temple to the icons, sort of thing. Nina Jack sort of drives you in, drops you off, stops, jumps out and is like, so, hotel is, well, and she gestures to one of the wings of the hotel. That's where you're going to find like the servers and the colonial. And she sort of gestures. There's not that big a colonial presence here. Moro has like a little bit of a court, sort of holds. People come and pay attention, ask for rules in their favor. There's the temple. Need to, if you're into that. Shrugs. Oasis is down there. Bathhouse. That's about it.
So she told us where the comm servers are.
Yeah, in the colonial.
In the colonial bit. Yeah.
Why don't we just? How much do you think the parts will be that we need?
You can. I'll go back. I'll check through. You could probably trade it for like a couple of days. Foods. If you've got any recharge batteries, they'd probably go down a well in exchange for an energy couplings that you want. Failing that, you could probably get a day in the bauxite mine if you wanted to do it that way and try and trade that up. Somebody would definitely take a day off for you if they've got it. Pushes her hat back on top of her head.
You don't have the parts then?
I might do. I'll go back to the workshop and look for them now if you want. You just wanted a guide.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't mind what the answer is. Yeah, no worries then. Why don't I'll give her like 20 bear? Why don't you go and get some food and we'll meet you in like half an hour to an hour in the Oasis?
And she's like, cool, yeah. And this teenager runs off to find, lizard on a stick or whatever they eat here in Gina.
Oh, Yusuf, I found it a little weird that the colonial agency person runs a court. So, that doesn't seem like a normal thing, but let's go check it out.
It's not that. He's like.
Aren't they all a bit dodgy?
The colonial marshal, so he'll.
Okay.
Like the only sort of law enforcement around.
Yeah, he's like an authority figure rather than yeah.
But yeah, you're sort of left with.
Sure, we've got to head over there and check it out, haven't we?
I'll go and introduce myself.
Cool. We head over to this wing of the hotel, and he's you can see there, like, the best way to describe it is, in the latest Blade Runner, more sci-fi references, they've got the sort of police station and it's all just deserted. There's dirt and it's really smoky in the air, and you have what's his face walking in before anybody attacks him, and a dog. And it's like that. It should be a busy, bustling office, but it's got like tarpaulin over some of where the windows. Clearly, they didn't finish putting them in. They realized quickly that this was not going to be the place it should be. So they just, Colonial Agency have just like finished spending and gone. Like there's no terminals, no tabula on the desks and that kind of stuff. Nobody waiting around, kind of thing. You can hear further into the hotel, like past all these desks and that kind of stuff. The sound of people, it's not aggressive, but shouting and calling out and that kind of stuff. They're probably playing some sort of gambling game, or you know, trying to. When guys get together and try and challenge them to like how much can you drink in one go, you know, that kind of tone to it, rather than
a bit like a fruit ninja party.
Yeah, a bit like a fruit ninja party. Yeah. You work your way through the desks towards the back, and you can see that this room is like, it's got lamp set up, it's got cushions, it's turned into some sort of, you know, living lounge greeting area. It's not at all what you were, you know, when Nina Jack was talking about court and that kind of stuff, we expected like a desk with somebody with the icon of the judge on the desk with
a gavel.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Presenting, presiding, and it's more like a king in a court as he's sat on these cushions, like laughing as there's a couple of other guys sort of.
It's the old boys club.
Yeah, definitely an old boys club. They're probably like, I don't know, arm wrestling or something. And you kind of like, do you just walk in, Silsila?
No, I'll knock on the door
like,
and just say, like, you know, just, hey guys, just looking to say hi to Mordo. Was that the right name?
Yeah, Moro.
Moro.
So they sort of stop and look at you. This big guy, and he's like seriously overweight. Like he will not pass his Colonial Agency fitness test anytime soon. He's not gonna get back into his proper Colonial Agent uniform anytime soon, because they don't issue them in how overweight this guy has become.
Okay.
That kind of stuff. And he's like, "Oh, I saw your flight plan. You made it."
Did indeed. I'll like
and he's
welcome him as if he's like a comrade and full comrade sort of thing.
Samil, you're what is Silsila's rank?
I guess I will be something along the lines of a lieutenant, somewhere in the middle. And obviously, I also have the flying
The
aspect.
wings.
Yeah, to my
wings
like.
tied to it.
So I'm a flight lieutenant. I realized I probably just made that up, but what the hell?
Yeah. So he looks. He's like, it's good to see you. An agent. Make it here. We have very few. Retired though.
Yes. On a little sojourn. Maybe do something different for a while before coming back.
And
Our employer is currently, and I'll just gesture vaguely.
so what brings you to Gina?
The boredom and the wrong kind of people. Looking for more.
And some of the guys behind you laugh.
Looking
When you
for
say the
more-
wrong kind of people, they laugh.
Yeah, you know, looking for a little bit more my style of fun. This is Yusuf. He's cool. Is there any way we can just send a quick message so we can tell the boss that, you know, we're arrived sort of safely, and they can tell us if they want us back at a certain time or anything. And then, you know, what are you guys up to? Looks fun.
Game of Shah?
Pardon?
Game of cards?
Oh, they look. They're like, yes, sure, yes. You should come to the Oasis later on. You should. We have some big games. Stream them all over town. Like, and he's saying that, and he's gonna have like 2 TVs or something where people will be watching you.
Can we just like knock off this like message thing, and then we can do the shit we came down for?
Sure. He doesn't get up. He doesn't really make a move. But he gestures to one of the others. Show them where the comms array is. Show them where the comms server is. We'll get set up here for a game. Judge you on your gambling.
Sounds perfect.
Thanks,
mate.
boss.
He set. This chap who was arm wrestling, rolls down his sleeve, wipes his hand a bit, picks up some sort of like cake or something. Like there's snacks and stuff around. Picks up some sort of cake, nods at you all, and is like, "All right, it's down this way. Come on." and leads you down a couple of rows into a standard sort of server
Is
room.
there more cake?
Yes, there is cake on the table.
Can I swipe a?
Cake is a lie.
I
No.
assume he's just like, well, we take cake with us when we go down here. So I'll
Yeah, he's just
swipe
having a
a.
snack, yeah.
I'll swipe a little slice of cake.
It's not particularly great if you're going to try it.
I mean, there's no point stealing it and not eating it, is there?
Sure.
Pocket cake.
Pull out one of the mangoes I stole from that place earlier on.
Mate, you're going to get robbed for that. It reminds me that Lily used to call pockets snack holes.
Snack holes, yeah. Places to
Brilliant.
store your snacks for future.
So,
Wow.
when we get to the survey, I'll challenge whoever this guy is to like an arm wrestling match or two. Like, it's a bit of a warm up fella, yeah? So that means he can maybe do a bit of like.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. He doesn't
Just,
look like he's a guard or anything. He's
He
not,
doesn't give a shit.
He's
That's
not
perfect.
a colonial agent at all. Like, and if he was, he's a particularly lax one because he's not even wearing like a badge or an ID or
Okay.
doesn't look.
Shirt's not tucked in.
Yeah, definitely not.
This button to this hole, yeah.
Yeah, he's just wearing like casuals, that kind of stuff. Eating cake when he should probably do like he's like that's the public terminal. That's boss's colonial terminal. You have to have and it's all sort of like put your public ID in. You could put your colonial ID in, and he's like and then he leans out. He goes, bathrooms are down that way. And turns around and walks out. Like, that's his job done.
Cheers,
Cool.
pal.
Yeah.
Watch the door.
Mhm.
I'll go to the colonial one.
Mm-hmm.
I'd tell you my ID.
You're going to log in under Silsilla's ID?
Yeah. I know it already. No.
Yeah, he still starts being like, P
Capital
for,
E, then the @.
yeah, and you're already like 4
Password
letters into it.
is password.
It's not. It's my own name with "yeah boy" after it.
Silsilla, yeah, boy.
So
Yeah,
still
boy.
rules.
Yeah.
Or yeah, boy. Yeah. Are those the two?
ROOLZ.
Barrel rolls forever.
Right. I'm going to data gin it.
95.
And I'm going to use my gambler's talent, maybe.
okay.
Let's see what happens when I get to roll it, don't
Yeah.
or do I just...
I think you just use.
I just use
I
the
think
talent,
last
don't I?
time the question was asked, you roll it. If you don't like the answer, you do the gambler's thing.
I might just roll it anyway.
You
was
are
gonna see if-
incredibly lucky and can choose an automatic critical success on a skill test of your choice. Counts as if you rolled 3 6s. If it's an advanced skill, you still need a level of at least 1 in that skill to activate the talent.
I have it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to activate it.
Okay.
And I'm going to hack that bad boy.
All right. So you spend a moment or two. You work your way through the systems. You remember like stealing a bit of Silsilla's passwords, a little bit of stuff that other people have done, the workarounds and this, and you get pretty much full access to the back end of the server and everything you might want to take off the colonial sort of stuff. What is it you need? What is it you looking for?
Anything to do with that communication, anything to do with Sabitha,
Mm-hmm.
those bank account, any information I have to like search for stuff. I'm going to plunder
Like
it.
some kind of physical location, isn't it? Right.
All right. So
Yeah. What does it triangulate down to? Like, oh, this has 5 locations, then this is that, and then this is that, and oh, hang on, that narrows it down to one place.
All right. So the message was sent a couple of segments ago when you folks were having a New Year's party. Sabitha was here on Gina. It was sent up, but there was nothing. It was sent specifically to the ship, so it's one of those messages that when the ship comes in range of the server, it will receive the data
goes
packet. But the ship hasn't been there until now. It was recorded, it was tagged at. Where does she, It was tagged at or created at a residence for the Shana residence, which is in Aaron's Ravine, just on the other side of town, on the other side of thing. And it was created and uploaded from there.
How long ago was it done?
We're about 3 segments in, so 2 and a bit segments ago. Like, we're halfway through the month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 months old.
Hmm.
There is another tag here for her. She's paid someone some money while she was here. Where is he? Him, not him. Let me just find his name. Apologies, folks.
No worries.
She's
Don't
paid-
forget to join us on our Discord.
She's paid somebody a bunch of money, and it's got to be enough to have been a big amount of money, because she has
100,000. That's the smallest big amount of money.
Yeah, because it's secured. It's like a secure transaction rather than
Okay.
like a just a quick sort of thing. It is someone from actually no, you wouldn't be able to tell. It's somebody called Lana. And it's probably got a surname or an ID or something there, but I don't have it to hand.
Sure.
So she's paid this person, Lana, enough money that it would be a secured transaction. And then also she has paid this person that that sent it from, Shana, a big chunk of money as well. So there's 2 secure transactions. This message upload, and then a payment to the spaceport, which is presumably for her ship to have come and gone. And that's all that's tagged with the same sort of ID for Sabitha.
Okay.
Sabitha Pua.
Cool.
So we've got 2 leads.
We do. Why don't we send a message to Shanaz?
Yep.
Don't know if you want to include the details or not. I don't know if you can hide those, or and then we'll go and play some cards with these boys for 20 minutes and tell them we'll meet them at the Oasis.
Sure. Can we do anything that's kind of like encrypted? I suppose that would just be a bit obvious, wouldn't it?
It's
Can't
public.
you do mind talking from a distance?
I have to roll a critical to get any distance.
But it's public, and they can probably read the server logs.
Okay.
So we can just tell Shanaz that we've found...
Not if we burn it down afterwards.
I was getting worried for a bit there. I was like, Pete's being
on-site
restrained.
storage. We'll go and check it. Hey, you're just holding
No,
a
I'll probably
Molotov
put
cocktail.
I'll probably put hey Shanaz, we've arrived safe and sound. Thanks for the time off. It's good for us to get out and check out, the planet. I might put something in there, some lame code, because he's not very used to like subtlety and subterfuge. But he might say like, don't forget to remind Shana and Lana that, drop the names into some other reference, that, they shouldn't hide from you again or some nonsense. Yeah.
Okay.
Something that a
Blatantly
6-year-old
rubbish.
could work out.
Yeah. But he thinks he's being clever.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, don't worry.
I've learned this courtesan trick of saying things without saying things.
I've
Proceeds to say the things.
encoded the message.
Gonna make an empathy roll.
What, to shoot Yusuf? What?
I
It's
don't,
not alien.
don't quite manage to keep a straight face.
Gotta put him down.
Okay. So you.
No, I only have to do that. If I'd have passed you, I'd been like, "Oh, that's great, buddy. Well done."
So
Fine.
you send the message off to Shanaz.
A little bit still Scylla's world, isn't it? The whole espionage of the corporate
Is
variety.
Is
it? Yeah.
I thought it was Kashar's world.
No, she just steals things.
She's just a thief.
Yeah.
She's just a
Information is
fraudster.
still valuable.
All right. So we send this message up to Shanaz. Shanaz, you have of course had the forethought to put your tabula on silent. Do not disturb mode, haven't you?
Well, if this woman is who I think she is, she will actually get the clear and unvarnished truth out of me, because I've been trying to make contact with these people for a long time. And I would absolutely fess up pretty much everything and give her all the information that I think she needs.
Okay.
Tell her what I'm trying to do. Just stop dancing around the subject and actually be honest.
All right. So there is a moment where Shanaz, what would the final sentence they cut back to? Like, we've obviously, for purposes of film and secrets and making Shanaz seem like she's possibly a spy or something worse. What would be the last sentence that, as we look down on the tabula, we see, Yusuf's badly coded message.
I suppose the last thing she'd probably say would be, after all, I'm not getting any younger and I do need to see to my retirement.
Okay. And Hera, maybe she's sat, holding her face and, it's very poised, sort of I could easily turn into this and stab you in the face with my fingernails kind of pose. She looks and she considers and she says, all very interesting. I have people with which I will consult and see what else I can discuss with you. Tomorrow, tea, same time.
It would be my pleasure.
And she stands up and you can tell she's using muscles that other people don't normally train. And there is a level here of, it's for your benefit. She's pointing out one wrong move, Shanaz, and you'll be shanaxed.
Yeah, this is confirmation / threat that I'm getting from her right now.
Definitely.
Yes, we are who you think we are, and if you do anything that pisses us off, we will end you.
Yeah. You will. What is it? The 8th pleasure?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 8th pleasure. She stands up using muscles most folks don't even realize they have. Walks backwards for 10 steps. Turns, leaves, and our gentleman courtesan, almost like it was due to finish now, finishes his beautiful stringed piece, asks if you would like any more refreshments, if there's anything else he can provide you with, and then almost like it was orchestrated, but obviously there's a little bit more to it. That another client comes in, another courtesan arrives with her client to begin a poetry reading, and sort of guide them around the lounge, and then somebody the lounge sort of comes to life again in a way that other folks might be like, wait, what? And Hera is nowhere to be seen. You've got this weird message from the boys, and as it is 11:10. I think that's where we'll end, with Shanaz being like, oh, I'm on a tightrope.
Yeah.
Good job, my dex is good.
Yeah, I think Shanaz might actually be making use of the young man's services for a short while.
Nice.
Maybe not a short while, depends how long the young man's services last.
Yeah, he's a very good courtesan. He's the courtesan's courtesan. Means he's very good.
Yeah, that's what we like
At
to hear.
making tea and stringed instruments and
Great
everything.
tea, stringed instruments, recites a mean poem.
Yeah, good at foot massages. everything like that. So as Shanaz
Totally a foot massage.
smiles at the gentleman, and he shows her off to sit on a stool where he can massage her feet, we finish our game tonight. Thank you very much for playing with me. Good to see. Like, I was looking at chat. It's good to see some new names there. It's very exciting to see some folks join us for the first time. If you've missed all our previous sessions of Coriolis, we're up to about 35 now. Not gonna lie. You've joined us at a really good time, because this is like a start of a mini segment of intrigue. So welcome on board. But those other 30-something sessions, you can watch them all up on YouTube right now, including, I think I'll find it, because I know I've still got the video, where we might have first met Sabitha, who we're now chasing. And I'll share the link in the Discord. So check us out on YouTube. I know Sabitha Pur is a dodgy folk. Check us out on YouTube, where you can find everything we've done so far. And then also, like Ben was mentioning Star Trek earlier, there's some Star Trek over on YouTube. There's some wonderful One Ring going on at the minute. And also horror stuff. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Check it all out on YouTube, and I will go over to Discord sometimes later this evening, maybe even tomorrow morning, and share the last voyage of the Ghazali, because I know. Oh, excellent, Reluctant Artsy. Yeah. Yes, Australia's Plays, they have released the latest book, part 3 of Coriolis, Mercy of the Icons. In the wake of the Martyr or something. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I've already read 90%.
Is it Wake of the Icons?
Wake of the Icons, yeah.
Wake of the Icons.
I've already read about 90% of it. It is interesting.
I think 60 episodes might be ambitious, maybe 90.
Underplaying it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're so plot driven. We'll get it done in like.
Bosh, 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 plop, plop, plop.
Yeah.
Fixed it.
Can we have a mining episode next week? I think that would be fun.
I mean, this is still the Spar episode.
That's true.
This is still the Spar episode.
Aluminium's probably valuable. We could give some to Kirsch as a gift.
Oh, we're going to break into Mass Effect and take the little car out and mine planets.
Oh.
I mean, what was it? There's makeup.
Bauxite
What
ore
is
is toxic. I feel I should point this out to you before you go and eat some.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not going to eat it.
I want to turn it into aluminium.
All right. But check us out. We're on YouTube. There's loads of stuff on there.
I want to make up a shoe now.
You want to make out?
Damn right, yeah.
You have to
or
save
whatever
up
the
some
other
money.
tank things are called.
What, the tank one?
No, they're all the same thing, aren't they?
They're all the makeup. Mass Effect conversation can be removed to the Discord.
Yeah.
We've got a show to wrap up.
Okay.
It is Tuesday. Folks, help me. What's happening this week on Garblag?
Tomorrow we've got Soulbound. Age of Sigmar's on.
Nice.
And they'll be getting stuck into their adventures with the Hallowed Are the Gods.
Ooh.
So that's cool.
Sounds very soulbound. Like odd
Totally
stuff.
different to Hallowed of the Ori.
Another reference.
Oh.
I got it. All the references. We should have a counter.
Yeah.
I mean,
To see if we can get the sci-fi reference counter higher than darkness points.
I was going to say, if it gets higher than darkness points, we'll have to subtract one from the other.
No. Soulbound on Wednesdays. That's 2100 GMT. What time zone are we in now? I don't know.
GMT.
Yeah, we're in GMT
We're in
now.
GMT. It's not
Good.
summertime anymore, is it?
That's Wednesdays. Then we move on to what happens after Wednesdays. Thursdays.
Thursdays, the One Ring.
Oh yeah. How's the statue rubbing going?
He hasn't rubbed a single statue
Brilliantly.
in the last session, did you?
When we went along that bridge, I did a bit of a rubbing on
Did
the.
you?
Yeah.
I thought I'd
course I
managed
did.
to get you to go cold turkey for a whole
No
session.
way. While you're all staring, remember you're all staring at treasure, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm rubbing a statue." I'd
I
found a
wasn't
book as
staring
well.
at treasure. I was picking up the bits of the treasure that I persuaded you to smash on the monster's face.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
That's true.
Excellent. The One Ring. I think I'm going to add that to the podcast feed soon. So.
And then it's Winter of Fear in the evening.
Yep.
Achtung Cthulhu, Garblag North America, doing the spooktacular
Isn't it-
Modifius Winter
When
of
is
Fear
the
special.
Thanksgiving? When
Oh,
is
good
the
point.
Thanksgiving?
That's next week.
Okay, right.
Right.
Because they're not doing it on
Actual
US Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Because
which is fair
they have
because
family.
they're there.
Yeah.
rude to be. I'm gonna wait. Yeah, just keep my turkey warm. Yeah. And that's a preview, so nobody else has played this scenario yet.
No, it's a special. The Forest of Fear book is the book that's coming out, and there's loads of prizes to be won. So tune in. Proper hardback books, not just PDFs, but proper hardback books.
Oh yeah, one of them is ridiculous. It's like a huge,
The finale
thick hardcover special edition.
Yeah,
Slipcase, black with silver edging, and like actual demon summoning rituals inside it.
Nice.
That's the one.
Always wanted a demon for Thanksgiving. It's great. And that's Thursday Pacific time, isn't it? They run on
Yeah,
American time.
Eastern. Yeah.
Eastern, yeah.
Eastern
but
Pacific.
you should check it out because we have tweeted a load of stuff, and Modifius have tweeted a bunch about it, so it should be
Absolutely.
fine. That's a Thursday. What's happening? Are we still
Sky
pirates?
pirating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spy pirates.
Yeah, we've totally got a
Gar.
completely secure base that me and Nye cleared out without any incident or difficulty last week. I didn't have to make any death saves at all, I promise.
Nice.
I misread how a ring of regeneration works, so I went wading into hand-to-hand combat despite being a sorcerer and quite squishy.
Nice.
I approve.
Yeah, go for it.
Excellent. That's good. So that's
Presumably
Friday.
with just a stick as well, as you can't really have any weapons.
I do have a level of rogue, so I do have a rapier and a pistol.
Oh, and a Sky Pirates, of course, yeah.
And sneak
Sky
attack.
Pirates and sneak attack, which I did use to great effect in the last action of the game to deal something like 50 or 60 points of stab in the face damage.
Nice.
Face
That's
damage.
a very sorcerer's sneak
Nobody's
attack, isn't
vulnerable
it?
to
Not
that.
from behind or the sides. You did not expect me to just run at you going, ah, and therefore it counts as a surprise.
Yep, exactly. And it had a burning smite on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Kablam.
Could
We
only-
rescued Alden's character, and hopefully Alden's going to be
Oh.
with us tomorrow, and we're going to go on more merry adventures.
Cool.
Excellent. Good. I'm glad to hear characters were rescued, smites were laden, and face damage was incurred. Excellent. That's Friday. That's a whole week. If you miss any of it, we'll upload it to YouTube at the weekend. And in some cases, you can catch it on a podcast. There we go. I'm much better at that this week than I was last week when I was dying.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, you got all the way through it without a single croak.
No, yeah. It's good. Except for my Iago impression earlier. That was a croak. That was good. But thanks again for watching. Coriolis will be back next week. In the meantime, let me find the right screen and I will say